Man, first one up on the slate.
Final four.
We looking at Sunday for both of these games, I believe.
Sunday.
First game we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus Flock
gang. You know
Baltimore Ravens.
Y'all see the purple? Y'all see who I'm rapping?
The Ravens are a 3.5 point favorite in this game at home. What say you, my brother?
Hey, man, I've been with and riding with Lamar Jackson in the Flock game all season.
I give credit where it's due. You picked
Lamar
for MVP.
And if you guys don't believe me, you better start looking back and checking out some of the previous episodes. But in this game right here, this is a battle of, I believe, probably the two best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Obviously AFC. Obviously AFC, but NFL.
You think the Chiefs been the best team in the AFC?
I think so.
Really?
Right now, when it counts in the playoffs.
Really?
In the playoffs, when it counts.
I don't know.
But the Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens are the best team, obviously. I think in this matchup, man, Lamar, he wants it, man. He really wants it. Anytime you see Lamar, Lamar's getting interviewed. All he talks about is Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
I think Lamar understands
he speaks
that.
It.
I think at this point in his career, especially after going through a new contract, all that back and forth debating, might be leaving Baltimore, ended up staying, negotiating, getting his own deal, doing all these different things. I think after doing all that, he understands that he has to deliver. And so far he has. With his performance this season, he's been a much improved quarterback, coming after this many years in the league for him to do what he's been doing and display that he's a smarter quarterback, picking his spot, still being a running quarterback, but being an efficient quarterback at the same time. Yeah. I think he's been brilliant at the QB position this season.
Phenomenal.
So this by far is his best chance at winning a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So far.
And like I said, his mindset, anytime you hear him speak, it's always been about, I want to win a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl.
It's Jalen Hurts-ish.
A Super Bowl, a Super Bowl. He don't care about nothing else. He don't care about the MVP. He don't care about the accolades. He don't care about home field advantage. He understands
that ring.
He wants the Super Bowl, man. And I think this is the best year where he can get it. So with that being said, against the Kansas City Chiefs, they are at home in Baltimore. So another road game for Patrick Mahomes. Now, we already seen Patrick Mahomes kind of handle with being on the road in a crazy environment.
First time ever he delivered.
Yeah, he delivered. He stepped up to the plate and did what he had
to do.
Picks. Protected the football, played safe. Good game. But in this game, in this matchup here, that Baltimore Ravens defense is by far better than the previous two teams he faced.
So that's what I was going to ask you, right? So
this is a different defense.
The Chiefs have received some criticism saying that, okay, yeah, they won these games, but they haven't played against a good defense. So do you foresee the impact of the game, the defense being the difference in this game? Because the Chiefs have a very respectable defense themselves. So what do you foresee from the defense on both sides of the football?
Yeah, I just think on the Ravens side of the ball, they have a lot of good players, man. Like, especially their front four. Their front four can get to the quarterback without having to do any extra blitzing.
Okay.
And if they do any exotic blitzing, when they do decide to blitz, they got guys like Kyle Hamilton that's going to get there. You know what I'm saying? On the back end, they have solid corners and safeties that, they play to their strengths, right? So they can play man coverage. They can play zone coverage. They can get in your face. Ronald Darby, he's a vet, 8-year vet. He's been in the playoffs before. You got Marlon Humphreys, if he's ever healthy, if he decides to come back and play. And then you got, my guy 21 on the outside, Stevens. He's been playing very well. You know what I mean? So those guys on the defensive side have been playing very, very well this season. And not to mention, you got two probably arguably the best linebackers in the league, Raekwon Smith and Patrick Queen. Those guys are some solid dogs. They're going to come. What I noticed about the Ravens defense, they're going to come at you.
They got that dog in them.
They're going to come at you. They're not going to sit back and allow you to run across. They're going to go from sideline to sideline. They're going to chase you down in pursuit, and they're going to make tackles. And they're going to make sure you feel it. They're going to make sure you feel it.
They're relentless as a defense, as a whole defensive unit. Now, on the flip side of that, though, let's not act like Spags don't dial it up.
I like Spags. You know I'm a fan of Spags.
What you say about him? He be pulling his phone out, and he be dialing it up. All right, he got a
He
rotary
dial-
phone.
yeah, rotary
he got
phone.
a flip phone.
Yeah,
he got
he
a
dialing up.
sidekick. He
When
gonna dial it up.
And he makes that call at the right moment every single time.
Yeah, so Spags is a very good defensive coordinator, and he's gonna call us some good plays. And they have the personnel to execute. You know, you got guys like Chris Jones who gonna be after Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Gonna pressure him, speed him up a little bit through that progression. Is that gonna be enough time for Zay Flowers and OBJ and likely or some of these other guys? Possibly a Mark Andrews reappearance. Possibly. How does he integrate back in? How effective is he after all this time off? You know, healing? I don't know. But
And that's one thing, good point there, because that's one thing that Houston was doing to Lamar in the first half that kind of, threw him off his game. They was bringing blitz and bringing pressure.
See, I don't know if it was the blitz and the pressure or was it the 2 weeks off that they needed.
It's a combination of all of that. You bring in blitz and pressure, and then Lamar's not able to see it. That's when you start getting to him. He started doing some uncharacteristic things, running back, trying to escape pressure, all these different things, getting sacks and stuff like that. But then in that second half against Houston, they kind of backed back and started playing a little bit more safe. And that's when he started carving them up and killing them in zone coverage. So It's going to have to be like a healthy balance with, Spags dialing it up versus, playing a little bit of zone coverage, which he does very well. But I think, one of the key factors is who's going to control the ball as far as running the football.
No, for sure.
That's going to be the deciding factor in this football game, because the Chiefs, I didn't really like how the Chiefs, allowed Buffalo to run the ball. They broke some good runs and things like that, and Buffalo kind of stuck with it until they didn't stick with it, and that's when things started hitting the fan.
Yeah.
But I think the Ravens, they have that mindset and that mentality of we're going to stick to the running game because that's who we are. Right, and then you have all these different backs. You got Dalvin Cook who popped off.
They're the best rushing team in the league.
Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and you got Lamar Jackson. So they got a lot of different interchangeable guys that can run the football and be effective at doing it. And their run scheme.
Let's not forget they got Dalvin Cook. They added him into the mix too.
I said that.
Okay, so
I think it's going to be a good battle on the against the defenses, but I think whoever controls the ball and protects the football, that's who's going to end up prevailing in this game. But I think, the Ravens defense is just way better. So I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay. So,
Even though it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I was about to say, so last week, the Chiefs went up against the Buffalo Bills. Like I said before, this by far was the Bills' best opportunity to beat the Chiefs that they've had in years past. However, it was just hard to bet against Mahomes in that situation. Even though we haven't seen him on the road, we've seen his body of work as a quarterback in general, and he's a great quarterback.
He's great.
There's no denying it. So I roll with the Chiefs despite that. But this situation is a little bit different, and I think because, as you so eloquently stated, that the defense on that Ravens team is just different, man.
It doesn't compare to the two previous defenses that the Chiefs had just played.
A depleted Bills team or whatever. But even more so, the thing that makes it a little bit easier for me is I watched this Ravens defense dismantle the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And the San Francisco 49ers by far were the most complete team that we saw throughout the season, right? Up until late in the season.
The Ravens defense dismantled all the good teams in the league.
Yeah, they did. But they did it again. but we were looking at the 49ers like, okay, this is the team to beat. Mm-hmm. This team starting off is looking amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's going to beat them?
Yeah, they went 5-0.
So they went early. And then after the bye week, we saw them go on a skid. They went on like a 3-game skid. Mm-hmm. They had a bye week. They got Chase Young. They came back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. So I mean, looking at that and looking at the situation with the Ravens, the Chiefs, and looking at how they handled the 49ers, I'm gonna go with the Ravens in this spot as well. I think the Ravens defense is just different. They're so different, and they're
at home with it.
They're too dominant, and they're at home. This is one of the few games that I'm looking at, and I'm not overly concerned about the weather and them playing outside. The Chiefs played in the Ice Bowl and they won that game handily. So they show me that they can play outside.
Yeah,
they good.
That's what they do.
They good. But I think that defense is the determining factor. Lamar Jackson just has to keep on doing what he's doing. At this point, he's a leading MVP candidate. It's pretty much a formality for him to just get the award at this point. And then he's also looking like they get through this game. He's looking like he can win a Super Bowl and be Super Bowl MVP with his level of play at this point. So,
he locked in.
Yeah, he's super
he locked in.
So
Action
I'm
Jackson, big trust. He locked in. New era.
Very
new era
rare.
8, he locked in.
Very rare or hard to go against the Chiefs at this point in the season. But I think if there's a time, now's the time. I know we said this last time, but Lamar Jackson and that defense is different this season. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
In general, the Baltimore Ravens is just the better team.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
Throughout the season,
they're
for
just
sure.
the better team.
But that Chiefs offense did click like we did not see them click before.
Yeah, but like
even with Rasheed Rice going through a little bit of an injury out there.
As we talked about, they clicked against a decapitated Buffalo defense. Travis Kelce got, good targets and receptions, good yards, touchdowns because Buffalo don't have no damn linebackers. They pulled Klein off the couch. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you start seeing some clicking. Oh, we see Kelsey's back. Okay, well, shit. Go up against Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. We'll see what's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, don't even worry about that. We'll match you up with Kyle Hamilton.
That's a
Kyle
problem.
Hamilton 6'5".
Kyle Hamilton a problem out there, man.
Kyle